Ginza. Known as one of the most prestigious, luxurious, and trendy areas of Tokyo, the Ginza district, which stretches from Ichome to Hachome, is adorned with top brands, department stores, fashion boutiques, and numerous restaurants and coffee houses, often said to be Japan's answer to Fifth Avenue of New York. Home to upscale flagship stores of many of the major global brands, Ginza is a gigantic runway where consumers can acquire all of the latest luxury goods. But perhaps it isn't just a place exclusively for the rich and famous anymore. The face of Ginza is changing due to a series of new store openings by casual clothing companies, which is a clear depiction and reflection of the nation's current economic state. However, despite the fact that Ginza may no longer be the ritzy district it once was renowned for, the historic background and cultural momentum of Ginza seems to have remained intact. In the last few decades, a competitor to Ginza has arisen, as many of the upscale retailers have been opening their stores in the Aoyama and Omotesando areas. Professor Julian Worrell of the Architecture Department of Waseda University discusses this phenomenon.
Since the bubble burst, since the early 1990s, Ginza experienced a period of decline. There's these famous stories about how a single square meter of land in Ginza was enough to buy an entire suburb in Los Angeles or something like this. I mean, that Ginza was the most expensive area in the world, real estate prices at the end of the 80s, and certainly that real estate price dropped dramatically in the 1990s. And I think you also saw a lot of energy emerging elsewhere in the city. So in relation to, say, commercial culture, fashion brands, for example, a lot of attention shifted towards Omotesando and Aoyama in the 1990s. And I think that you can see that Omotesando today, with all of its fashion flagship stores lined up along it, most of those were built in the past 10 years. I think that's a kind of indication of the way that a lot of kind of the high-end fashion, wealthy kind of commercial culture shifted to that street rather than Ginza. But in the years since 2000, Ginza has definitely kind of mounted a counterattack, you might say, and there's been a lot of investment in Ginza. New buildings have been put in, kind of new efforts to make Ginza as an urban area more attractive and diverse. And so in the back streets, for example, you've got greening of the back streets and new paving of the little, like Namikidori, for example, which is one street back from the main street in Ginza, has got lots of trees along it and special lighting and special paving and quite a number of standing bars, which make it quite an attractive place to be in the evening. So I think that you've seen a lot of investment go back into Ginza in the past 10 years, and I think it's succeeded in preventing the decline from continuing. It's certainly kind of bounced back.
Unlike Omotesando and other major districts in Tokyo, Ginza is a district in which 400 years of history is concentrated as it dates back to the Edo period. Professor Snowden, the Dean of the School of International Liberal Studies at Waseda University, elaborates on the decline of Ginza that has occurred in the past as a result of the shift in the population.
That's the area of old Edo where millions of people lived. If you look at the figures for the population density in what is now Chuoku, say 100 years ago, you'd be amazed at how many people lived in that area. But now nobody does. The population is declining. It's what they call the donut effect, how the center of the city is becoming depopulated. And in that respect, I think that Ginza has had to redefine itself. It can no longer see itself as an automatic popular place for people to go to. It has to add a little extra excitement or a little extra interest. Otherwise, people wouldn't purposely go there. And that explains why so much more activity nowadays is concentrated in those sub-centres where the trains arrive from the suburbs where most people live nowadays. Therefore, Shibuya, Shinjuku, Ikebukuro especially, not so much Ueno, but those others, those three especially, now concentrate a lot of the old functions that Ginza had a sort of monopoly on.